Animated, animated, animated,
Animated Sage Thoughts.
We are live. We are live. We are in full effect. Chris, see him over there being a millennial.
For real? You're more of a millennial than I am.
We're live in full effect. This is episode number 3 of Animated Sage Thoughts. I'm Animated Mel, or you can just call me Mel. That's Chris over there, or you can call him Sage, or you can call him Mr. Wisdom. You can call him Knowledge.
I like knowledge.
You can call him
dope.
You can call him anti non-answer because nigga always got to answer for everything. But anywho, first off. Did you hear, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Did you hear Yanny or Laurel?
For real? You know what? Like, honestly, I've been trying to avoid listening to that thing because I don't want to get caught up in it. You know what I'm saying?
Did you hear Yanny or did you hear Laurel?
Yanny.
I heard both.
That makes sense.
I heard both.
That makes sense.
Because I put in my originally I heard Laurel. Then I listened to it later. Then I heard Yanny, and then I put my headphones in, and then I heard Laurel. I was just like, "What the heck is this?" And then I was listening to it because I was at work when I was because it was kind of dead, and I was playing it out loud, and my coworker like, "What is that?" I was just like, "Oh, it's just this little thing that's trending or whatever,
right?"
About sound frequencies, and I was like, "What do you hear?" Because I didn't hear Yanny because it was on Chris Brown's page on Instagram, and he had it, and I was hearing Yanny. I was like, "What the? It sounds so weird. Like, how is it saying Yanny?" And I was trying to make my mind hear Laurel.
Yeah.
It was not working, and then she said, "I hear Laurel." I was just like, what? I'm like, how is this possible? I said, I'm just hearing Yanny right now, So I thought that was pretty interesting, It took over the freaking internet for a long time, man. It's sort of like that blue dress and whatever, white dress thing, whatever.
Yeah, they're exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's some type of optical illusion when it comes to the blue dress. But to me, the Yanny and Laurel, that actually makes more sense because it's a frequency thing.
Yeah.
Somebody posted a meme that I thought was funny, and it was like they used both of the Yanny and Laurel and the blue dress and a gold dress. They used it all together and made a statement. I can't remember what it was. It was like Laurel says she wants her blue dress back, but Yanny still got her. Something like that. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty. I'm trying to freaking find it because it was on Chris Brown's page, but I don't see it on here anymore. So I can see if we could freaking
play it?
Yeah,
play the audio.
Yeah,
I don't know
because I'm wondering if I was to play it on a mic and people listening to this, would they hear something different than what we're hearing?
I don't think it works like that. I think whatever you're gonna hear is what you're gonna hear, because
what the hell was that?
You just got Rick rolled.
See, what do you hear?
It sounds like gibberish. Honestly, it doesn't clearly say Yanny or Laurel.
See, now I hear both.
Yeah, I'm hearing both.
Because at first,
kind of not even. It's not even clear. Neither one is clear for me.
It's like I feel like if I focus on Laurel, I hear Laurel. But if I focus on Yanny, I hear Yanny. Because with Yanny, it's higher. It's I don't hear the deep voice like Yanny or Laurel. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. I'm just like, what the? It's just.
Well, when I heard it, the White House did a skit. Did you see that?
The White House?
The White House did a skit about this. That they clearly have no time. They have nothing else to do. But everybody's giving their opinion about what it was or whatever. And I heard Yanny when White House was doing it. Now that sound like gibberish almost. It didn't sound clearly about either.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
it's crazy stuff. But did you want to finish talking about what we were talking about last time? Oh, actually, no. You know what? Did you watch the Childish Gambino video?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it. I watched it that day, and then I think I watched it again later that night or the next day. Watched it a couple times.
What do you think about it? Because I know you're not probably going to give the typical answer. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. The interesting thing about that video is it's 100% clearly designed to be open to interpretation, right? Everybody is supposed to have a different opinion.
Yeah.
Now, there's factors that are going to be similar, but I think everybody's going to take something away from it differently. When I watched it the first time, right off the bat, it's like, okay, obviously he's pointing out the gun violence. And how we use music and dancing to distract from, these important topics.
Right.
One thing that I thought was very weird was that he kind of was like portraying America, it seemed like, and he was doing all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like he was doing all the shootings, and that was weird to me. I didn't get that part. Like I don't understand. I don't get the correlation there because typically with all these shootings, they're not black people doing them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that bothered me a little bit. And then trying to think, there was the part at the end when he's running.
Like
I think that part is like the most interesting to me because it can be interpreted so many different ways. I heard one person talking about how, they didn't start chasing him until he started smoking a blunt or whatever, which is interesting. It's like, yeah, right. And then, but what I got of it is like, we're revolting. We as a people have figured it out. And now we're chasing after America. We're going to, fix this. We're going to lock America up. We're going to change America. And that's kind of what I got at the end, which it's funny because maybe he never even had that intention when he wrote it, when he, did it. Or maybe he did. Maybe it was about the drugs. I don't know. Everybody kind of gets something different from it. What did you think?
I thought it was, I like the video because like as I was watching it, before I started digging deep into it and looking at all the symbolisms of everything, I literally was just watching it and I was just like, oh my gosh, it's hard for me to focus on the dancing because there's so much happening in the background.
Right.
Like I was like, I can't. I said so much going on. It's hard for me to focus. And then the other thing on the other end is just like, I'm not used to seeing Childish Gambino dance because like I listen to his music a lot. I know you probably don't listen to his music, but I listen to his music, his mixtapes, and all this stuff. And so just like, it's weird seeing him dance. But he was the funny thing is he was actually getting it in.
Yeah.
he was getting it in. And another thing is like I also had a similar take as you, but I also thought it from a different perspective. It's just like you see the kids. He's dancing with the kids. They're all black kids, obviously. But throughout the video, you also see at the top they'll pan out to like kids on their phones and they're video camming all the chaos that's happening below. And also there's other symbolisms in there.
Oh yeah.
That like it references a book, like you have a horse in the background.
Pale white horse. Yeah,
with a freaking cop car following it or whatever, which is like a symbolism of like death or something like that. And also there's obviously we see the church choir get shot down.
That shocked me.
Yeah. But didn't expect that.
No.
But it's just like, I guess there's mixed feelings about it because he's a black guy who shoots down the church choir.
Right.
But there's something that happened in North Carolina with the white dude who shot up in Charleston, North Carolina or South Carolina, something like that, who shot down, all the choir people, whatever. So most people, they're like, I don't really feel comfortable with that, the black guy being depicted as someone who's killing all these guys. Because you have to think, if you're not in America and you don't know about all the racist stuff that happens in America, and all you see in this video is a black guy going around killing all these people, like how is the imagery going to be to them? You
Yeah,
know,
I
because
agree.
they don't know about the super, or even if they're not black people, because they don't go through the racist stuff that black people go through.
Right.
So they wouldn't even understand it from a black person's eyes, but black people's eyes, we understand.
Right.
it.
We get it.
Yeah, but
We
it's
get
just
it.
like so many different cultures, they wouldn't understand it. But I feel like it's so many layers to this, and it's art, which is a good thing because it has everyone talking about it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of it. Like he has not defined it at all. He won't touch it.
And he said he won't.
And so what happens is everyone is allowed to have their own interpretation. And I don't know if you ever did this in school. We would read a poem, and then the teacher would be like, "What do you guys think of this poem?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And of course, everybody has their own interpretation of the poem. And I was always like, "Well, what does the creator? What did he write? What did he mean when he wrote it?" But the beauty of it is that maybe he meant for us to discuss and have our own opinions. And it obviously it opens up the possibility to have this discussion, and then also we get to see the different viewpoints.
Yeah.
But like you said, if you're black and you see it, you get it. I think I think that it's, I don't know, somewhat irresponsible kind of to depict it that way, because I feel like the message, okay, it's he's preaching to the choir, right? If you're a black person, you preach to the choir, no pun intended. But
Start shooting at the choir.
but I feel like the message should be designed for the other people, the people who don't see it from our perspective. I mean, that's just, I guess, my opinion about it.
Another thing I was thinking is because most people don't know Donald Glover's mixed. He's mixed with black and white.
Because he looks black.
But he looks black. So I was thinking, like, okay, maybe since he's mixed, maybe, you know, I know it's probably like, that's a reach. That's a bar. That's
a
that's
reach.
Dalcine,
You had your
know?
nail tips.
That's freaking Luffy. But so I was just like, okay, maybe that, but it's probably thinking too deep into it. But overall, I thought it was a really good video. It was a good conversational piece. But like you said, I think a lot of people have different interpretations of it. And also people would ask, well, because I seen one of my friends, because she lives in Korea and she's black. You know, you met her, Daisha, the black chick.
Yeah.
Yeah, she lives in Korea now, and like people in Korea, they saw the video and they'll be like, "Man, this is sad. Like they can't believe that this is happening in America. Like that black people are treated a certain way other than other races." Because she was saying, like in Korea, what's the non-violent part of Korea? Is that South or North?
South, but now they're first.
I know they merged.
First of all,
I don't. Okay, well,
that whole North Korea, that's propaganda, dude. That is 100% propaganda. 100%.
what, like a show?
No, it's like it's the government is feeding us what they want us to believe about North Korea.
Yeah.
None of us has never been to North Korea. According to what they say, you could barely really get in there. Like you're really not allowed to really get in there, interact and whatever. But that could be part of the propaganda too. I don't know. I've never been there. You know, the reality is we only know what we've been told. And have you ever met anybody from North Korea? You know what I'm saying? Like they say that this guy, he's an evil dictator and blah, 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 blah. Well, I mean, they said the same thing about Saddam, and he had weapons of mass destruction, and then nothing was there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not to say that he wasn't evil or whatever, but, you know, propaganda. They tell us what they want. It's fear-mongering. They want us to be afraid of North Korea. Now, I think it's weird, and I feel like maybe we touched on this in the last episode. I feel like it's weird now that they've merged with South Korea because there was never a central bank in North Korea. And now that they've merged with South Korea, I'm thinking that you'll see a central bank pop up there and they'll open up the trade and they will be a part of the world governments.
Okay. Chris getting a little deep right there.
Whatever.
No. You can stay right there. Stay right there. But all I'm saying is I was just trying to say that the how black people are treated in Korea is the same how other Koreans would be treated regardless. You
Really?
know. Yeah, it's just like it's equal. It's like an equal footing. They don't treat people less than who they are. They just
human beings.
Yeah, they just treat them for, or at least as she was saying from her
perspective,
from her post or whatever. So,
well, the thing that's interesting about that is I was on YouTube maybe last year, a year ago, and I came across this page. It was a Korean girl and a black guy. He was actually African, so he wasn't even like black like us. He's an African guy,
right?
And they were in a relationship together, and she was talking about how they're looked down upon for being a mixed couple. So maybe it's only because they gave me the impression that there was something there with how they felt about black people because of everything that she and her husband go through for being a mixed couple.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm wondering.
This is in where? You said North Korea?
South Korea.
South Korea? Okay.
North Korea is the bad Korea.
I was watching this video. I was watching, listening to a podcast where they was talking about like distincting like Asians from other Asians, like doing a Chinese, Japanese, or Taiwan, and getting you can point them out.
Right.
So I was wondering. It made me think: do South Koreans and North Koreans
know the difference?
Like no, just between like if you're North or South, is it
right.
is it just the same thing? Like, do they all look the same? They're just divided?
That's a good question. Is there a difference between North America and South America? Yes. But is Korea set up the same way? I don't know. To be honest.
Like, can you point at them and be like, yo, you from North Korea
right.
and you from South Korea,
It's an ignorant idea. You know, America is a corporation. It's a company. Like, how can you tell if somebody works for Microsoft by looking at them? No, it's ridiculous to even try to distinguish. And it's funny to me because, I'm in construction in Texas. If anybody is in construction in Texas, you know that there are a lot of, how should I say this, Spanish-speaking people or people who speak a similar type of, Spanish, I guess, and they will assume, until you speak, they will assume that you're Mexican. So, like, I work with a guy, he's Puerto Rican. Yeah. And Mexicans and Puerto Ricans, for some reason, there's this
It's like a slight misunderstanding, right?
Yeah, well, I don't really know what it is. I've never got into it, but they tend to not like each other for some reason. Okay, I'm speaking very generally. They don't like each other?
Like it's like beef or
yeah, kind of. I think it has something to do with Puerto Rico being a part of America, officially a part of America, and Mexico not. I don't really know where it stems from. I know it's some government manipulation. Right. But the point is, until they hear you speak, they think you're Mexican. They're cool. They're real cool. When you start speaking and your dialect is a little different, then they're like, oh, you're not Mexican. And it's like they cut you off. Yeah. Now, this is not every situation every time. But anybody who's, in this arena, they understand what I'm talking about. And it's crazy to me because they can't even tell each other apart. Really, the best way they could tell each other apart is their dialect. You know what I mean? Or I work with a guy, he's what is he? He's like white and Cherokee. He's like Indian. He's like Indian or whatever. And people think he's Mexican. He's got a Mexican girl. Yeah. And he looks Mexican.
Well, you live in Texas, so I mean that's not hard to get mixed up.
Exactly. But that's my point. It's so much work trying to he's Mexican. Oh, he's Indian. Oh, he's Puerto Rican. Oh, how about he's just a person?
Yes.
And you can ask him what his ethnicity is if that's somehow relative.
Bruh. That's even checked it. Halloween.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
We were dressed as the freaking Power Rangers. I was a Red Ranger because that's my favorite Ranger.
And your favorite color?
And favorite color. And John, he was the Black Ranger. And so we were out. People like our outfits. Oh, can we take a picture with you? Oh, da. It's like, yeah. And then some girls, they came to us. Are you all black? It's just like, what?
Right. Like, what?
What does that matter? And then, like, it's funny because, like, we went downstairs. Like, me and John, we went downstairs. And as soon as we walked in, everybody turned around, looked at us, and had their freaking phones out. And we was like, hey. And everybody got loud, like, hey, you know.
Yeah.
And then we started dancing. And it was like, oh, yeah, they black. Like, oh, yeah, he black. You know, especially me because I was getting it in.
Well, they wouldn't have known if it was me. They would have been like,
well, no, probably because your height. You know, your height, you're tall and slender. So there's not too many tall and slender white dudes out there. You know, they're usually meaty, a little meaty out there, you know. But I just think it's crazy how, like, that's the first thing that people, you know, want to know. Like, are you black? Are you white? What are you?
Yeah.
You know, I'm guilty of doing it at times.
Absolutely.
If, you know, I'm just like, I mean, I don't ask. I don't be like, yo, but it crosses my mind like, yo, I wonder if he's, you know, Korean, Asian. Like, what kind of Asian is he, you know?
what kind of Asian are you?
Like, yo, what kind of Asian are you, you know? But I mean, that's racist. I mean, I want nobody,
Dude.
like, somebody comes to you, yo, what kind of black are you?
What kind of black are you? Dude, my foreman, he is, oh, God. He'd be like, I've never slept with an Oriental before.
An Oriental.
I'm like, what century are you from? Like, an Oriental? I've never heard anyone's, and he will call me black. He'll be like, I've never slept with a black before. A black?
A black?
A black?
I've never slept with
I've always
a
wanted
black.
to sleep with a black.
Or is he gay? He wants to sleep with a black. There's black guys, black girls. A black? He wants to specify gender?
A black. We're all black.
A black?
I just, like, the dude.
That's racist.
The dude
That's racist.
He's cool, but he's racist and he doesn't know it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so my thing is, I got no animosity towards the dude. He's a cool
black.
He's a cool dude, but he was raised in an era where they bred racism in white America just automatically.
That's why, I mean, I guess that's why it's good, I guess, for people of that was born in like the 40s, 50s, and 60s or whatever that are white Americans to, I guess, be more cultured or get an understanding or learn a new way of thinking.
Right.
Because there's this, it was a situation that happened on American Airlines. I can't remember the chick named Mallory something. She's like I think she's a lawyer and she's a very powerful, you know, black woman. And also this other guy named My Son. He's a rapper, but he's also an activist.
Okay.
And they got into a situation where they were sitting in first class. And I guess like a stewardess or something like that, they started arguing or getting into a disagreement or whatever. And then they got her off the bus. Not the bus. They got her off the plane.
Off the plane.
Saying she has to get off the plane. And then My Son, which is the black dude, he seen like, you know, friction happening. And like he stood up like, yo, what's going on? And they said he had to get off the plane too. And this was, yeah, so like it originated with like a disagreement between
the lawyer and the stewardess.
The lady and the stewardess or whatever. And then the pilot got involved.
What? The flight hadn't taken off.
Hadn't taken off.
I'm like, how the
yeah. And so the pilot, you know, said she had to get off the plane, and then My Son, he stood up like, yo, what's going on, you know, because, you know, you stand up for your people.
Right, okay.
And then he said, you have to get off the plane too, whatever. And they said, why? Like, why do I have to get off the plane? And there was literally no explanation of why to get off the plane or whatever.
Right.
And so it brings it to the point where they were taught a certain way of like, black people aren't allowed in first class. Like if they were pilots or they're stewardess, because you know you get on planes, you see they're usually old. The
pilots,
either the pilots or the stewardess. I guess they don't call them stewardess no more. They call them flight
attendants.
Yeah, either that. I don't know.
I think
but they're usually old, isn't it? Because like you know you see on commercials or freaking movies, they'll be a little sexy or, you know, a little bit more attractive and younger looking, but usually they're older. So they have that older mentality. Like if they're like 60, 70 now, they were stewardess since they were like maybe in their 20s. And that was in the era where black people weren't known to be in first class. So they're used to serving white people, being in first class. So that's all they know. And now they see someone of color come into first class. They're like, they'll treat them differently, So it's just like,
well, I would be interested. Do you have any details on the quote unquote argument or the?
Yeah,
because like that depending on what they were actually arguing about or what that's gonna change everything. Like her
name's Tamika Mallory.
Okay. So obviously when it comes to these situations, social media is going to blow it up one way or the other. Whether the black individual was in the right or in the wrong, social media is going to blow it up. My thing is, you look at every case individually, okay, and be like, all right, yes, they were in the right, or no, they were in the wrong because of this reason. So I like to look at the details.
Yeah, I mean, they talked about it in an interview.
They did an interview.
Yeah, they was on the Breakfast Club. They talked about it.
Oh, she was on the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
You know what? I've noticed that's been happening a lot, and I'm not really plugged in. Like, I'm not plugged in. So when I see stuff, I know that it's happening on a larger scale, or they're pushing it to us because Bob Marley's granddaughter or something got the cops called on her. She was at an Airbnb, I believe it was. Don't quote me on this story. I believe it was Bob Marley's granddaughter. You haven't heard about it? She was at an Airbnb with one of her friends, I guess, and a white lady called the police on her. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, this keeps happening. The black people at the river or whatever, they were at the park, they were doing a barbecue, and the white lady wants to call the cops on them. And it's like, they keep pushing this. They keep pushing it. It's like, what's going on?
Okay, I get what you mean. It's like, there's like I guess a sudden rise of like white people calling the cops on black people.
Exactly.
I was thinking the exact same thing, but not every situation ends in the favor of the person who's calling, because in that situation in Oakland at the barbecue, it was a white lady filming her, at the barbecue. Like, what are you doing? Like, come on. Stop tripping.
Right.
They're following everything right. But have you seen the memes?
Of course, I've seen. You can't avoid them.
The memes are hilarious. Complete comedy. If there's one thing we could get out of this, is some hilarious memes, man.
Yeah.
But like, the thing is, like, as soon as the police shows up, she starts crying. Like, what are you breaking down in tears crying for?
Yeah, that makes zero sense.
And the funny thing is, I guess you got to salute Black Twitter or social media in general, just the internet, is they found out her real name.
Oh, God.
They found out Jennifer Schulte or something like that.
Oh, my God.
And like, she's like she has a PhD and for like a college or whatever. And so they found like her LinkedIn. She canceled that. She canceled her.
They wiped it.
Yeah, they didn't do it. They basically put her on that pressure. She got rid of her Facebook and all that stuff. She went private and all that stuff. Like, that's what you get.
Well, here's the thing, right? And man, this has been repeated so many times.
Yeah.
That doesn't fix anything.
It doesn't.
It doesn't fix anything. All it does is put fuel on the fire. Because if she really is racist, all it's doing for her is confirming and validating, right? So things like that doesn't make me happy, honestly. I feel like, okay, I don't know. I didn't really watch the whole story. I just kind of saw a snippet of it. So, and I think her concern was that they were using charcoals instead of wood or something. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, but they were following the rules.
Right. So, I don't know. Did she genuinely feel like it was a concern, or was she actually just trying to get them in trouble? You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, I don't know.
I know how the video portrays it. How the video portrays it. But just go back to what I said about my foreman. He calls them Orientals. He calls us blacks. He doesn't know he's racist. He doesn't even know it.
Bruh. There's bigger things in the world to be going on, worrying about a freaking barbecue.
I agree 100%.
People enjoying themselves.
I agree.
Like, it's like you don't have anything else to do but to bother some random people. while they're barbecuing.
I agree. But if maybe she's a go hard, just like some vegans, right? If some vegans go so hard, I saw this guy on YouTube. He was sitting outside a kosher butcher. It was like a butcher warehouse or factory or shop or whatever, and he's like, "So you think this is God's work? You think what I'm saying?" He's outside at like 5:30 in the morning in these guys' face. They're going to work, and he's in their face. Some people go hard. Maybe she really believed. I don't know. But the point is, we allow social media and the regular media to blow this stuff out of proportion, and it makes it seem like it's happening everywhere. 2 years ago, it was black men being shot. How many black men have we seen shot this year? How many major videos have we seen?
It's like a new... Oh, no, I see what you're saying.
They're shifting gears. Now the new thing is that now the cops are being called on black people. It's just a different...
Yeah, it's like a new season. It's like a new season of a way to oppress or show a different way of oppression. Yeah, I didn't look at it in that perspective. It's like last year or like the past few years.
Right.
It's just been showing black people getting killed. Mm-hmm. Now it's going into a new wave where they're showing black or police being called on black people.
Right.
That's being more highlighted versus. But there's a lot of crap happening.
Absolutely.
Which also brings it back to the point of Childish Gambino's video.
Absolutely.
There's so much crap happening. Like, another thing that recently happened, which I don't know how I felt about it, but I thought it was interesting. You see, there's a white dude who walked into a restaurant in New York, and everyone who worked at the restaurant, instead of saying yes or something like that, they would say "sí." And he had an issue with that. He was just like, everyone is in my country and they're speaking another language, speaking Spanish. He said, she said, it's third time running into it with someone isn't speaking in English. He got really upset, and it was like a French bakery or something like that. And then obviously people had their phones out recording him and stuff. He was he was getting heated. He was like, this is my country. I'm going to call ICE, to get people deported and stuff like that. This was like away from black people. This is talking about like Spanish speaking people. Right. You're in New York, Texas, LA, mostly all these big major cities or states or whatever. They're going to, have a mix of
melting
people.
Pot.
Yeah, they're going to have a mixture of so many different cultures. So it's expected. It's expected to have these, different languages. But the fact that he got so upset about it and appalled and started offending people and cursing people out and stuff like that, it's crazy. And the funny thing is, similar to the situation with the barbecue, dude got exposed because he's actually a lawyer. And he has a website where he says if you're Spanish or whatever, he'll help you out. So like you're basically contradicting everything that you're going against if you want to work or be lawyers for these Spanish speaking people.
Right.
And they shut him down. Like I think he got fired from his law firm or whatever, and he like a Captain America paparazzi shield. Or whatever. Like he was coming up to him, but it was with an umbrella, and they put him on blast because like you're a lawyer, spewing all these racist stuff to Spanish people, but then when you're confronted about it, you want to run and hide and stuff. And so like the city, there's like, yo, we can't have nobody rocking with us like that. And I just thought, it's like, yo, the internet is working quick. This happened like in a span of like a day or two.
Of course, but that, yes. So that shows you how quickly and how easily they're getting this information out there, how efficiently they're getting this information out there. So think about it like this. Let's say that instance is happening one time in every state, just every state in our country every day, right? How quick they could pick and choose, and they could literally, it's happening only one time, right? It's only happening 50 times every day, but they can make it seem like it's happening everywhere all the time,
right? And
that's the danger of it. And you're like, Black Twitter or social media, whatever. They're policing people and they're making them pay pretty much. It's like instant gratification, instant karma. But here's the thing: take the Starbucks. right? The two black guys going to Starbucks for a meeting, waiting for their friend.
Yeah.
And the manager calls the cops on them. It wasn't even, I don't even think it was 2 weeks later that there was another instance, actually here locally in Texas, where it was like a black motivational speaker. He was at a bar, at like a little, like a sports bar.
That was in Plano. That's literally like 10 minutes down from the street where I work.
Yeah, I've been there, as a matter of fact. And he's sitting down with his girl or his wife, I can't remember. And the owner or the manager comes through. He's like, hey, would you mind giving up your seat? We've got a regular here. That's his seat. That's the seat he wants or whatever. And the guy politely declines. Which
no, I'm okay.
I'm good. I'm not moving. And who would? That's ridiculous, right? So the manager gets all upset about it, threatens to call the police. I mean, just makes a big deal. Actually does call the police. The guy ends up leaving the restaurant before the police get there because we all know what happens when black and police get together.
Or it's not even, like, why? But why does it even need to get to that point to call the police?
Exactly. You should have asked. He declined. And you should have went back and told your regular, hey, I can't do anything for you. End of story, right? But here's my point. That happened within weeks, maybe 1 or 2 weeks of the Starbucks thing. And everybody knows about it, but yet it's still happening. So what is that telling you? The way we're reacting to these instances, it's not fixing anything.
Yeah.
And all it does is it promotes it, because now we're seeing more instances of it, which just builds more friction between individuals that were perfectly fine before. And so I feel like come on, like we actually have to figure out what's the core issue. What's the real problem here?
Teaching.
Obviously, it's the way we've been taught. The government, the schools, the TV commercial, everything. That's what, if you want to get Twitter riled up against somebody, you want to get Black Twitter riled up against somebody, get them riled up against the corporations that are putting this propaganda out there. They're the ones that are brainwashing people, making them think, oh, because he's black, he's a criminal. You know what I'm saying? Oh, because he's a Mexican, he works hard.
But dude, that's going to be an impossible fight.
No, it's not. It's not impossible.
If people, if all they get fed is this bad stuff, that's all they know.
Right.
How else are you, if the powers that be control the media and they're putting out this propaganda or they're putting out these images and stories to people, and because people are absorbed into TV and all these different media sites.
Yeah.
And they're slowly that's all they see. That's all they know. So what is the proper solution to changing their thought process?
Dude, it's obviously it's getting rid of the propaganda. That's it.
But how? How do you do that? First
of all, people need to understand what's happening. That's why I'm speaking about it now, right? Because everybody's always talking about the problems. And then someone might say, I mean, what can we do? There's nothing we can do about it. It's too big. And the reality is, if we all came on one accord, not even all of us, it doesn't even take all of us.
So this is the same thing, I guess, that won't happen like that.
Of course, it's not a microwave solution.
Yeah, I got you. So, I mean, it goes back to what we were talking about previously then. It's just like...
But we have to start the conversation somewhere.
The conversation has already started.
Nah.
We're not the only ones talking about this.
The solution. We need to start the conversation about the real solution. Not the conversation that's saying, yeah, so this black guy the police just got called on him. That's the wrong conversation. Where's the core problem? Why does this white individual feel threatened by this black individual just for the color of his skin? Yes. Where did that come from?
Okay. These white people, they don't know black people.
Correct.
Because if they did, they wouldn't call the police.
Right.
Yeah. So if they're in a community where all they see is white people, mm-hmm. and then they're getting fed all of these negative images of black people, and they're fearful. All they have is fear. So their base reaction is fear. The police will protect me. I have nothing to fear. But, when the police come here, because I know they'll protect me.
Right.
But the black people, they're just like, because we don't see it like that. We usually treat people, equal, or we don't, we try to, show everyone respect because we have interactions with white people because they're the majority of the world, or that's so we're told.
Supposedly.
Yeah, so we're told.
I don't understand how minorities are everywhere, third world countries and all this, but yet the white people are majority.
Just in America. I mean, trust me.
Even in America, you take. You're telling me that you take all the black, all the Mexican, all of the.
That's no. I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
I don't understand how
That's just what they feed out.
Right. That's what they put out there.
But I've been seeing a lot of interracial couples.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's just like, but like they're fearful. The reason why they react like that is because they're feared that way. And the white people who start from, I guess, privilege, they're taught that by their parents. That's all they know. That's all they're experienced.
Right.
So it's just like, if they're in a situation of being around black people or some kind of conflict or argument, all they're going to do is be like, I feel threatened. I'm going to call the police right now.
Right.
So there's no other alternative for them to learn to get out of the state of mind, because that's all they know. And if and per se, let's say they wanted to get out of that, how? Like, if they don't even have the thought process, because that's all they know.
Right.
How?
Well, that's the thing. If there isn't a solution that's available now for you take someone who doesn't even know they're racist. If there is no, it's like let's say that alcoholism was running rampant, right, and there was no AA. It didn't exist.
Right.
You would say, well, there's nothing you could do. Well, we could lock them up. We could put them in jail, treat them like criminals. But, alcoholism is classified as a disease now. So we treat that person differently. We've got support systems in place, and there's outreach programs and things like that. So there's nothing available now for a person who's racist and doesn't know they're racist. It's like a disease that's undiagnosed.
Right.
So what do we need to do? We need to create a solution, some type of interaction, whether there's a lot of separation in every facet of our life, right? There's a reason why there's, an individual can go through their entire life and not have any friends of the opposite race. Well, if you're never forced to interact with them, one way or the other, then yeah, you can accomplish that. For example, in corporate America, if it is super hard for a black individual to get to the higher levels in corporate America, then the people who live in corporate America have essentially avoided ever having to work with a black person. They don't live with black people because they probably make more, and it's the black people are a little scattered in their neighborhood, so they don't have to live with them. They shop at stores where maybe they're higher end retailers where there's not a large population of black people that shop there, and so they get to go to the private schools where there's not a lot of black people. I mean, we sit here and we celebrate a black kid for getting accepted into Ivy League universities as if black people are innately stupid.
Right.
That pisses me off. The reality is that black people have been kept out of those places.
Yeah.
Right. So the thing about it is, we've got to start now. Okay. Here's a more simplistic solution. Utilize this amazing generation that we have that doesn't care about color. Right. There's a guy that I used to work with. He's like 23. And when I talk to him, he's like, man, I don't see color.
No, you should see color.
Hold on. In the sense that yes, I could see that you're culturally different from me, which not for him because he's from California. He grew up around black people. So culturally.
Higher we go, begging me for the culture.
Yeah. Culturally speaking, he's more on the black side, but the reality is that he feels that everyone should be treated equal, and he lives his life that way. He treats everyone the same. There's no classes or, white and black better and Mexican better. Everyone's treated the same.
Right.
So we could just simply focus our energy and attention on the younger generation, get them off of social media.
What is he?
He's Mexican, I think.
Mexicans?
What? No, that's not. You're missing the point. The point is that the younger generations, they don't view racism in the same way that we do. Whether you're white, black, Mexican, or Asian.
No, I don't think that's. I mean, I get what you're saying because a lot of different races are okay with saying the N-word and stuff like that because they don't have those same experiences. They don't see races. They don't see the problem with it because they don't know about it. But it's offensive to people.
Right. Well, who's it offensive to? To you.
To older people.
To older
people. It's not really offensive.
Dude, you're like 33, dude. You're old.
Okay. You're 33. You're 33. Let's not get that started.
You're old though.
I'm 30.
You're like 30 something.
You know what I mean? One. But it's like a slippery slope because while that one person sees that way, not every young person thinks that way because they are taught by racist people.
Yes. Okay. Here's my. I believe that because of the culture, right, the younger generation, because of the culture, they're exposed to what they would consider, black people would say, black excellence, right? They're exposed to it.
Excellence, baby.
They love it, right? They like it.
Yeah.
Whether you're white, Asian, whatever. So in order to continue this idea that black people are lesser than, or that they should be dominated, or that they're criminals, we have to have social media and the news perpetuating these ideas, and that's where all of this, these two black guys got arrested comes from. It's like the media is they're causing all this friction because the younger generation ain't about that. So you have to do this in order to reel them in. I think they're doing this for them. It's not for us.
Bruh.
We're already brainwashed, our generation.
Yes, and what I feel the solution is to get away from media, social media, and experience life, because there's a lot of stuff that happens in the media, that gets okay. Granted, there are racist cops, there are racist people in the world, but I don't think it's to the masses like we're shown.
Absolutely not.
It's just like maybe there are people out there who think these thoughts, but they may not act. Because everyone has racist thoughts or some kind of fear of being in a situation. Because like if I'm on a cruise or if we're somewhere, first thing I do is look for people like me. That's the first thing I do. It's like if I'm somewhere, I was like, yo, where are people at? I'm like, oh, okay, I see you. That's how it was. Like when I go to a wedding, I went to a wedding with Madison back then. I was like, yo, what the brothers at, man? What the brothers at? I saw one. And the funny thing is, we all have that natural instinct to say, what's up?
Right.
We all have that natural instinct to say, yo, what's good? So I think we need to get away from social media because all it's doing is feeding us all this bad stuff, because if I interact, even if someone is racist, they have a good experience with a black person. Because even racist people will say they aren't racist. KK people say, oh, we don't hate black people. We just don't like the hard R. We just don't like the hard R people. That's what they say. That doesn't make sense. Because you consider these hard R's to be black people, but you're not racist against black people. That I don't get that. So I don't think, because they control the media. If they control what goes viral, if they control what people are seeing, with their algorithms and their trending topics that they allow to happen, or that's on the front page of a Facebook page or a YouTube, Twitter, or Yahoo entertainment section, whatever, that's the first thing you want to click. Because I bet a lot of people haven't heard, or if they have, it has not been highlighted about the mass shooting that happened at a Waffle House. A white dude was going around, killing people at Waffle House, and a black dude saved. He stopped the shooter.
Right.
But that's not highlighted. I don't see that highlighted at all. Or if it is, it's in a small article in a corner while this two Philly kids or whatever, that stuff is highlighted,
Absolutely.
So it lets you know that if good stuff is happening, like this black dude saving, these people from getting shot, That's not. It's basically like you said. It's going to be perpetuated. They're going to perpetuate exactly what they want. So it's powerful as I feel like the younger generation they're doing things that are trending. There's this thing called clout that they're doing to draw more attention to them because everyone wants attention. But they're not going to do. I don't think they care enough. I don't think the younger generation cares enough to be like, you know what, we need to fight for, equalization for all races and treat people right. Because I feel like it's like a losing battle. We need to try a new way, not the way that's constantly being said. We need to have a conversation because everyone's been talking for a minute. Nothing's been happening.
Well, that's because a conversation is it's interesting and it's fun to listen to or whatever. But the reality is, okay, sure, you say we need to get away from social media, and we're saying the same thing. I'm saying we need to destroy the systems that are in place, which is the same as getting away from social media.
Destroy the systems, but I don't think they're going to let you.
Well, here's the thing. The power is with the people. So it's not about are they going to let me. It's about will we make the decision that we actually want this. That's all it is.
The power's in the people, but if the people are following the media and the powers that be control the media, the people in the first place are just going to follow.
Absolutely, it's definitely a challenge. But that's your solution, though. That's your solution. It's not easy.
There has to be an alternative. There has to be an alternative.
Good luck.
If there's a healthy alternative, there's a social media alternative.
This is the healthy alternative.
No. There has to be another way than what we're thinking, because what we're thinking, I'm sure everyone else has thought.
No. Who's doing that? Who has promoted these ideas that we need to destroy social media? Well, it's very, very little people talking about that.
Well, now, this is the era. This is the era of social media.
Exactly. So,
I don't know.
It's not even social media. Like before social media, it was the news, right? So my mom, she loves watching the news. We talked about that, right? Your mom loves watching the news. That's their generation. Our generation's version of the news is social media. It's the same thing in different forms. You know what I'm saying? So what I did when I started hearing these backwards news stories, I was like, this is wrong. Something they're lying blatantly, right? So I stopped watching the news. And when I realized that social media was just an evolved version of the news, I cut back on social media tremendously. Yeah. And it's been difficult because, I got my group and I got everything going on. So I have to utilize it for the time being. But I really don't I don't even really be posting on my Facebook, or it's not natural for me to take pictures and post them on Instagram. Like I actually got to go out of my way.
I feel you.
Hashtag this and hashtag that. Like, obviously I know I sound old, whatever, but it's not about that. I've disconnected myself for a reason. It's all mind control. Like, you got to disconnect yourself. Yeah. You have to.
I was thinking about, I'm trying to freaking rebrand my channel or, thinking about just getting off of social media for a minute, because I notice it's a constant distraction.
Absolutely.
It's a constant distraction. Like, me, I have to be doing something. Mm-hmm. I just have an overactive imagination. Like, before social media happened, when I wasn't playing the game, I would be drawing. Right. Or if I wasn't drawing, I'll be writing music. Or if I wasn't writing music, I'll be playing with toys, because I was a kid at the time, Or I'll be outside, engaging, doing activities. I was always active. So that's why I say I can never get bored, because my mind immediately goes to finding something to do. Just like when my YouTube channel got took down. I was just like, what am I going to do? Because I got all these freaking videos that I want to work on. I was just like... I find a way to be productive. I just don't like that, So I was thinking about, plugging away from social media. Literally the only reason why I stay on Facebook is for my mom. Honestly, because she means the world to me, and, a few other relatives as well. Or like my aunt and my cousin. But
don't start name dropping.
I didn't name drop. I just named titles. I got plenty of aunts and cousins.
My aunt, my cousin, my uncle, my mom, and my granddad, my grandma.
Yeah, I mean, it was just our people within a Smash community, because I play games. So it'd be cool to interact. So that's literally like the only reason why I still have like a Facebook.
Yeah.
Other than that, honestly, dude, I would get rid of it. I was actually just thinking about doing like a month detox from it, just to alleviate myself. I mean, I've done it before because it's just a natural habit when I'm like bored to just go to my phone, go to the freaking phone and start browsing and looking up stuff I don't even care about doing. You know what I mean?
So when you say social media, are you just including the internet in that, or are you just specifically talking about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram?
Dude, I'm talking about being Amish.
Okay. Because, see, here's my thing. I'm not against, like, YouTube as a whole. Obviously, there's stories on there that obviously it's designed to manipulate you. But there's a lot of good information on YouTube. There's a lot of good information on the internet. Yeah, I think the key is learning how to sift through all the BS. Like, if you can learn how to sift through it, you can have a very pleasurable experience on the internet. And for me, I'm like perfecting the art of sifting through the BS on the internet. Like, that's just, I'll see a story and I'll be like, yeah, that's fake. Yeah, that's fake news. You know what I mean? And it doesn't bother me. Or I'll see how they're trying to perpetuate an idea, right? That white people are calling the cops on black people across the nation. And I'll be like, yeah, that's propaganda. And it doesn't bother me. So if you can learn to distinguish, make those see the differences between what's like real, what's fake, what they want you to believe, you can learn a lot on the internet.
The thing is, I don't like, I'm on the internet or I'm in the hip hop world heavy because I love music. So the stuff gets brought to my attention because they talk about it.
Yeah.
It's nothing that I go out of my way to see or anything like that. So if I'm listening to an interview, they would, same like how we're discussing our differences and how we see like the Childish Gambino video and just other stuff that happens, I would see it. I mean, they would just talk about it in their discussion, Yeah,
absolutely.
Because a lot of the stuff, because I don't like seeing these videos of people getting shot. I don't see it. If I see anything about anything that has to do with people dying, getting hurt in any form or fashion, I click away, or I find a way to block it from my YouTube, Instagram feed,
right? Me too,
or whatever. I don't want that in my head at all, Dude, I seen a video on Facebook that somebody Shannon, Maine's aunt or whatever.
I blocked her.
Oh, word? Oh, yeah. But she posted a video where there was like some people in a van and they had a dog on a leash. So like while the van was moving, the dog was freaking walking on the leash. And like the window was rolled up and they were like going like at least 10 miles an hour. And like the leash was like holding his neck a little bit and he was like keeping up with, I was just like, how I feel about animals, man. That hurt my heart. I was just like, I don't want to see this.
Why would you even repost
why
that?
Post that? That's just putting more negative stuff out there.
Right. It's like, I want to make sure people see this so they can do what? You stop posting it. It's like people do stuff like that because of people like you who will repost it and then it goes viral and they think that's fun.
Yeah, that just hurts my heart.
Man, I saw a similar video, wasn't like that, but it was a dog being abused. He's chained up and this guy has a baseball bat. And like the dog, you could tell the dog never saw it coming because he just seemed normal. The dog was just chilling. Like it wasn't like the dog was attacking him. He was chained up and the dude just cracks the dog in the back of the head with a baseball bat and kills him instantly. And it's just like, why would you repost that? Like that,
it killed the dog?
Yes, he killed the dog on camera. And it's like, you think that's cool, right? You think that's funny, or you think that's like hot, entertaining, and or somehow you're so upset about it, you think it's smart to repost it for other people to see. Like, don't you people realize that feeding into it is creating it? It literally, if people didn't care, like if you did something like that and people, number one, didn't care and just 100% shamed you for it, didn't share it, made Facebook put it down, you'd stop doing stuff like that because you're not getting what you want,
Yeah. I think they just need to freaking not allow people to post videos like that?
Well, obviously, but Facebook's a part of it, so
Yeah,
that's. I mean,
I don't know, man, but I don't like any of these violent stuff.
well, here's the other thing too that I'm not gonna say it doesn't really bother me to the extent that I feel like people are aware, but it bothers me knowing now for myself. You think about, okay, the guy hitting the dog with the baseball bat. Well, they do that to cows. They do that to chickens.
Right.
You're right. They do that to all of these animals that we consume every day. And it's like, we don't see it, so it's like it's cool. You know what I mean? They rape these animals. With the chicks, if a male chick is born, they just kill them. They just grind them up alive, right, and turn them into some type of meat, hot dog, or I don't know. Who knows what they do with it? You know what I'm saying? Because they're kind of basically worthless to the dairy industry, or I don't know if it would be considered the dairy industry. I don't know. Eggs always go with dairy, but so they just grind them up alive. Like, they don't have hearts, souls, minds, feelings, emotions. They're just animals. They're just here. Like, I'm not a animal activist, but I am. When it was brought to my attention that's what was happening, it bothered me to the core of my being, and so I started working towards not eating.
But
animals.
What did you think was happening prior?
Prior, I didn't know,
Or you didn't think about it?
I didn't know
Because regardless of how they were getting killed, they were still dying.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There's a couple things I learned. Number one, we are taught that animals, they act off of instinct. From when I was in school, science class, they taught me that. They put that in my mind. Animals act off instinct. It wasn't until I started having intimate interactions with animals, different animals, that I started to understand that, no, they don't. They don't act off.
You went to the zoo?
No, the zoo's a terrible place.
Yeah.
I'm talking about interacting with my own pets, other people's pets, or observing animals in the wild. It wasn't until I actually paid attention to them that I realized that was a lie. Animals do not react off of instinct. That is a lie. They are thinking, intelligent creatures. They make decisions. They have emotions, right? Now, sometimes they do things that we perceive as dumb because we don't understand how their physiology works.
Right.
But they're not dumb. They're not dumb. If something can experience fear, happiness, joy, excitement, that being deserves to be respected. It's not a lifeless, soulless, stupid thing. Like, okay, a piece of wood. Okay, like, we've got a synthetic piece of wood or whatever. We're not talking about like wood on a tree, because that's obviously a living being too. But being, I don't know if that's the right term, but it's a living organism. That's a better word. But like a synthetic glass, this glass tabletop. Okay, I might not have any emotions. If you smash the glass, I could probably laugh at something like that, right? But even now, to the point where I have issues killing insects.
I've always had issues killing
Yeah,
insects.
you've been more sensitive to it. I never understood that. Like, I had to learn that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. People just don't know.
That's also a culture, though. People hunt and kill animals for fun.
Well, they also kill animals for food.
Not in America.
Yeah.
They'll kill them for food, but they don't need to.
We don't. But that's part of the brainwashing. They teach us that we need animal protein to live, to be healthy. That's part of it. Because I have people will be like, well, Chris, what if let's just say, because they ask me like, why don't you eat meat anymore? And I tell them, and they're like, oh, well, let's just say that I went out, I hunted down an animal. So you knew exactly where it was coming from, because they're thinking the health side of things.
Right.
They're thinking, oh, Chris doesn't like to eat meat because it's unhealthy. They're like, I hunt down an animal in the wild. You know where it comes from. Would you eat the meat? And I'm like, no. They'll be like, well, why? I'll be like, well, first of all, it's not healthy to eat meat. Okay. And I know that's going to cause a whole bunch of comments in the comment section, but it's not healthy to eat meat. We're not designed to eat meat. We're not carnivores. Our intestines are different from carnivores.
You want to dig into it? Why isn't it healthy to eat meat?
Well,
is it because they're dead?
It's
Is it
you know
flesh?
it's funny because I made that comment on my YouTube channel.
A healthy alternative.
And somebody
20,000 and growing subscribers. Check your boy out, Animated Male. Anyway, go ahead.
So it's 19,000.
Oh, 19, almost 20,000.
But I said you don't want the animal flesh rotting in your gut, right? And somebody came through and wanted to argue semantics with me. Oh, it doesn't technically rot in your gut. Actually, plants technically rot in the gut for this, that, and the other reason. Okay, great. Here's the thing. If I tell 100 people you don't want animal protein rotting in your gut, 99 of them are going to get what I'm saying, and there'll be one guy who's like, well, technically speaking, it doesn't rot in the gut because rotting is actually this and that. It's like, okay, dude, seriously. The point I'm trying to get across is that the meat sitting in your belly for more than 2 hours causes problems. Mm-hmm. Is that better for you? It causes problems, health problems. Right? Infection and bacteria grow, and then it gets into your blood because the lining of your intestinal wall is very thin, and it's very easy to pregnate. So that infection gets into your bloodstream, and you could have problems anywhere in your body now because it's in your bloodstream, and it's all from you eating meat and not having properly digested it because we're not designed to. Our intestines are much longer than carnivores. I think carnivores have it's either half or a third the length of their intestines. So when they eat that meat and stuff, it's in and out in a couple hours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, we don't need protein. You say, oh, can you get protein from plants? Okay, maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't matter because somehow I'm surviving perfectly healthy without it. So it's like a scientist can say, hey, you need meat protein to live and live a healthy life. Okay. Thanks for sharing the information, but I've been eating, fruits for the past 50 years, and I don't have any disease. I've never needed to go to the hospital. So what you're saying doesn't correlate with what I'm seeing in reality.
Right. The thing is, people, they hear a doctor, a scientist, or whatever because they achieve these levels, and just because they get this information from them, since they have these titles,
right,
they strike it as legit.
Right.
This
Facts.
is the only way to live and prosper, and people don't think outside of what they're taught.
Right.
Because they only know what they're taught. So being able to distinguish good information versus the BS they're feeding, because dude, you know how many misdiagnoses there are, or how many times people go in with a headache and come out with a missing leg? It's just like, and this is a doctor. These are people who go to school and college and studied and all these years and have experience, but they can't even get prescriptions right for a cough.
Dude, well, I don't want to cut you off and let you, but I just wanted to point out that death by doctor is the number 3 killer of human beings. Death by doctor kills more people than guns and cancer, and I think it's higher than cigarettes. I don't want to start lying, but it's number 3 killer of human beings. And in reality, when you think about the situations where people are misdiagnosed or it's not reported, reality, really speaking, is probably number 1, death by doctor.
Wow.
So go ahead. I'm sorry. I just wanted to.
No, because the reason why I brought that up is because I have a coworker, older guy, 61 years old, that I care about. He's a cool dude. He has anger. He has issues. He don't get angry at me, but he get angry at everyone else. But he's like, I try to teach him and help him. I probably told you this many times off the podcast about how he has these health issues. He needs to be getting sick. So I've been trying to motivate him and hey, slowly stop eating meat. He's like, I can't eat barbecue ribs. I can't eat this. I'm like, no, it's meat. Stop eating it. I say, okay, how about this? Just a week, or give it a week, or give it a week and stop eating pork and beef. Just eat chicken and fish or whatever, just to slowly wean him away from, meat or whatever. And he did it. He's like, I actually felt pretty good and all that stuff, Cool. And then I said, okay, just go for the whole month. He did it for a little bit, but he would cheat when I was away.
Right.
Like he would cheat when I was away. But like this, I want to say past month or so, I've noticed that he's been changing his diet.
Oh.
And because he would come into work and have like, I'm like, oh, what's that over there? It'd be a bologna sandwich. A bologna sandwich. I'm just like, oh, so we're going back to eating pork now, you know? And then, literally, the next week, he was off an entire week because he was sick.
Interesting.
And and then he came back the next week, which is this week, and I was just like, I didn't see you last week, man. What happened? You all right? Like, what's going on? He's like, I just been sick, and I was like, I know, because I know how people are so stubborn and
Right.
get upset
Right.
when you talk about what they're eating, and so I tread lightly. So I was like, I'm just making an observation here. I said I noticed when you started eating that bologna sandwich, that pork, all of a sudden next week you're sick. You know, you weren't eating it before, you didn't have issues. You know, I'm just making an observation. That's
Right.
all I'm doing.
Right.
But he says, but how can bologna make me sick?
Exactly.
It's not going to make me sick. And I'm just like, it's like, dude, I'm just like, I'm making an observation. That's all I'm doing. And it's like you experience the sickness, but he doesn't relate that to what he's eating.
Because the doctors tell you man, all doctors aren't like this, but a lot of doctors will say, oh, your diet has nothing to do with it. You'll go in, you'll say, hey, doc, I got a cold. Oh, but I was eating such and such. Oh, your diet has nothing to do with it. Hey, doc, my wrist is messed up. I noticed right after I had some ice cream. Oh, your diet has nothing to do. Like, so people have been telling their doctors for years, hey, something's wrong. Does my diet, like, is the way I'm eating? Oh, no, your diet has nothing to do with it. Now, this is coming from an individual who's had less than 4 hours of nutritional training. 4 hours of out of all of their residency and all of their training, they've had 4 hours. That's less time than it takes to get a certification. 4 hours.
Is 4 hours the
4 hours is like their nutritional training. It's like, I guess, where they actually talk about how I'm not exactly sure. I've only just heard it's a nutritional class. So like a nutritionist, the majority of their training is about how food affects the body. But for the medical doctors, they get 4 hours of that training.
You know, another thing is obviously we know that they're not the pharmaceutical company. They're not in it to cure people. They're in it to create customers. They're in it so because like I was saying, a coworker, he has a cough and he got misdiagnosed or got the wrong medicine. He got upset and called like the doctor or whatever and got the wrong medicine. It's not doing anything for his cough that he's getting because he's constantly hacking and stuff like that. It's constantly back to back. And so yesterday I grabbed his bottle and I looked at it, and he knew it because he can already tell on my face I didn't like it. I was just like what is this? Like, why are you using this? It's like for my cough. I was just like, drink water, drink some water. Because like, dude, I promise, they be making jokes with me now because I like man, this customer getting on my nerves. Man, drink water. That's just like my solution. So they try to play me with that, you know. But I tell them, like, man, you don't need these freaking pills, man. You don't need this pill. This is not going to cure the issue, man. It's not. And like I it's like I say this because, you know, I care. It's like, dude, I care. It's like I think I care about you more than you care about you.
And that's where it gets troublesome.
You know, just like it sucks because I see you doing this stuff and you have all these issues and doctor problems and all this or whatever, and it's still not resonating with you. And I don't know what else to do.
You know, that's a gift and a curse. It's like when I learned all of this stuff about health and wellness and actually, you know, started uncovering the mysteries of the human body, the hardest thing was having to deal with the simple fact that there's certain things that people just won't accept. You know, it doesn't matter if you know how to treat or heal cancer. If they don't believe what you're saying, it's like you think back, you're like, man, I learned how to heal cancer, and my best friend died of cancer, and you kind of feel bad because you're like, man, I could have saved his life, I could have saved their life or whatever. But then the reality is, what they have listened to you,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Because you're not a doctor, and that's we have been trained to believe that there's diseases that are incurable, that you can't heal certain diseases. Some diseases are genetic, and modern medicine is the most advanced medicine we've had. So those old techniques, those old books you're reading, that's all gibberish. That's all BS. If there really was a way to heal it, we know by now. And we make all of these presumptions, and it's like, wow, open your eyes. I mean, I have literally, since I was a little boy, I remember telling my mom, no, I don't want to take that cough medicine. I was like 4 or 5 years old. No, I don't want to take that cough medicine. And
shit, not me. I was like, yo, mama, what that cough medicine?
You was getting tipsy off that.
I was like, yo, my cough medicine. But I didn't like cough medicine. It tastes like, I didn't like it.
Yeah. But like I've always known, that something was wrong with our medical information. And this is where research outside of one particular subject is so important. Because like me, I'm a truth seeker. So I research ancient technology. I research health and wellness. I research spirituality. I research cosmology. I research everything. Cosmology.
Oh.
And when you actually there is a connection between the two. I'm not going to really
hair.
Cosmetology. There is a connection between
cosmetology and cosmo. What was it?
Cosmology. Yeah.
Cosmology.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There is a connection between the two. Yep. But you research all of these things, and you become a well-rounded individual. You start understanding things, and you could piece things together. Right? People don't do this, and a lot of people be like, man, Chris, why do you spend your time doing that? Like, what does that matter? How's that going to affect your life today? How's it going to help you make more money? How's it going to, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, you people, you just don't get it. If you did it, you'd get it. But without doing it,
if you did it, you get it. Hey, that's a slogan.
That's a slogan.
You got a new slogan.
We're gonna get some shirts. But no, seriously, like it's one of them things where I can try to explain it to you, but you need to experience it firsthand, and you need to dive deep, man. You need to get in there and really, really. But I try to spread knowledge where I can, but I'm really down to talk to somebody who's already in that vein and just to fill their cup up. You know what I'm saying?
The vein of what?
Just knowledge. An open-minded
learning more.
An open-minded individual who wants knowledge. They want to know the truth about things.
Dude, I don't think I've ran across many open-minded people.
I've
ran across people who say they're open-minded.
Correct.
But when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, they're like, oh no, I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to do that. Yeah. Granted, I know how I am. Well, I'll be like, I have an open mind, but my immediate reaction is like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. No. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Nah. But I'll do it.
Eventually, when it's like your idea.
No.
Do you remember there was a time when you didn't like watches? Do you remember?
Yes.
And I said, Mel, you should get a watch, nice watches. No, I don't do watches. How many watches do you have now, Mel?
Hey, we're not talking No, but the thing, okay, because I wasn't like what I need a watch for?
I understand.
I got a cell phone. All you need a watch for is to tell time. I can tell time on my cell phone, so I didn't understand what's the point. But it's just to compliment the outfit and make it look better and blah, blah, blah. Because I think half my batteries on my watch don't even work.
I think that's true for a lot of us.
If someone has a watch on right now, you ask them what time it is, you won't look at your watch. You grab your cell phone. Yeah. Because it's right there instantly. With the freaking watch, you got to look at it. You got to look at the hand. Okay, right. Your hand is on this. Yeah. Okay, the long hand is the minute hand. Okay, hold on, the second ticker counter. You know what I mean? You got to get the accurate time. With the phone, it's just right there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, what's the point?
Well, I got a digital watch, but it's got...
what if the battery dead? No.
It's a digital watch, but it's got an analog clock on it, though.
It's like, I don't get it. But, I do come around to stuff. You know, I'm like, okay, I'm stubborn. I'm just naturally stubborn. Yeah. I mean, but I'm working on it kind of. Well, but
I know how you are, so I just plant seeds.
What are you planting? What have you planted? What? No, like what are
Like
you?
I'm gonna tell you.
Like what are you planting?
See, here's the thing. If I plant a seed and I tell you, you're gonna go dig that thing up. I'm not telling you. I don't tell you.
No.
Yeah, you will.
No, I'm just no.
That's how you are.
No.
Whatever.
I don't think any seeds are planted. It's
Okay.
good. See, now you're doing freaking shotty gun.
I'm not. Dude, I'm trying to be as honest as I can. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's. Dude, you've grown.
Get out of my head, Charles.
You've grown so much since when we very first met and we was telling the stories about New York and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I learned you, right? I mean, I should learn you. You're my best friend. I should learn you.
True that.
You should know your best friend. You know, it's like, you know, if you know, like when I was dealing with Sharice, you know what I'm saying? And I would say something like, "Oh yeah, me and Sharice stopped talking," or whatever. And you'd be like, "Yeah, okay." You know what I'm saying? Like, you know it's gonna happen. Even if I feel like, nah, we're like it's really done this time.
But yeah. All right. Nice
like,
story.
Yeah,
nice
cool story, bro.
Nice story.
You know what I mean? That's all it is.
Yeah, I think that that comes with us. But we have open minds. We are receptive to information. If anything, I feel like you have the open mind of anyone that I know because you simply, like I was saying in the interview thing that we had for the show, the dating show, whatever. When I was talking to the lady about you would open the door for a telemarketer and hear what they have to say, and actually sit there and listen. If a telemarketer knocks on my door,
he peeping out.
No. He's just knocking on the door. I'm just like, yo, all right, I'm good. But you know the funny thing is, I was thinking, if people knock on the door and it's not expected, I don't answer.
Yeah, I know.
And back in the day when we were kids, someone knock on the door, we run to the door. Like, yo, what's up? But now it's just like, how did that shift happen? Is that because like we're so worried about people always trying to sell us something? Is there a fear of something?
That's good. I like that.
I like
that observation.
It's just like I don't.
Life, man. Life. We're jaded. Okay. This is your house. You've been living here for what? 4 or 5 years, right? Whatever. I don't know how long. 4 years. You know that you shouldn't have any random people coming to the house. You know that.
Exactly.
Friends don't pop up. Right? So, with that being said, if you didn't order a pizza, if you don't have an Amazon,
a FedEx, UPS, some kind of package you have to sign for,
you know not to open that door because it's someone you don't want to talk to.
Exactly.
Right?
Or Girl Scouts. I don't know. Do Girl Scouts knock on cookies? I mean, do Girl Scouts knock on cookies? Do Girl Scouts knock on doors?
Yeah, I think Girl Scouts have the freedom to solicit, kind of however they want. We typically see them at the grocery stores because it's like there's no reason for Girl Scouts to go door to door anymore.
Yeah, and we don't have kids, so it's just like,
well, we were the kids that buy the Girl Scout kids.
No. Aside from the Girl Scout kids, but just like we don't have any kids, so like we don't have like, yo, can Jamel Jr. come out today? Or
right, absolutely.
We don't have that. Like we don't have that. We
know that no one should be coming to our door.
Yeah, so that's.
I've actually started running to the door when I hear it now.
I do. Because sometimes I've been like, man, maybe Chris isn't here, or maybe John or Anthony, they're expecting a package.
Right.
And it needs to be signed for.
Right.
So I'll run down. I just think it's interesting how how things have changed from answering the door to, running away from answering the door, And I guess that's the world we're living in, of being constantly thrown with advertisements of things that we don't want,
Oh, by the way, this episode has been sponsored by
a Healthy Alternative. Go ahead and go to Healthy Alternative. That's youtube.com/a Healthy Alternative.
Also,
or
catch us on Patreon at patreon.com/a Healthy Alternative.
A Healthy Alternative. What can they expect on the Healthy Alternative on Patreon? What is the benefits of doing that?
Well, on Patreon, you can find MP3 downloads of all the Healthy Alternative videos, as well as early access content to videos that are highly anticipated, such as Steven's update video that was just released for the Patreons today.
Oh, is that on YouTube at all?
No, it is not currently available on YouTube. Go to the Patreon account and watch it there. No, by the time this airs, it'll be available. But I've got some exclusive interviews on there that I'll be doing. It's a more in-depth interaction, especially if you're new to the health journey and you're interested in some materials and some direction that will help you accelerate your process. Because I've got 80 something videos on a healthy alternative now. So it's like if you're new
on YouTube,
you're gonna try and go
Subscribe.
through, and you gotta sift through all of those videos.
Yeah,
and you gotta try absorb all of it. You're talking about 24 hours of you gotta watch for 24 hours, and then you gotta take notes. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm making the information easier to access depending on what level of health you are and things like that. And also, I'm doing some fun things, man. I've got some experiments coming up. I've got some detox things I'm gonna be going through personally. It's just
that's fun, man. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm gonna cut you off. I want to get your input on since you're talking about healthy stuff.
Man, you be bringing the healthy stuff up.
You the one started this freaking advertisement wave. I just decided to help you. But anywho, I have a good friend of mine that I work with. Shout out to you. I'm not going to say your name because I know she's going to watch this or listen to this.
What up, good friend? I don't know you.
You probably meet her.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I hung out with her before.
Hookah Lounge?
Yeah.
Okay.
She takes supplements, and the supplements, I have a picture of it. I'll throw it up on the screen. I'll throw it up on the when I edit the video. It's called, because she works out. She's really into fitness and stuff like that.
Okay.
So she takes supplements. It's called Strength Game Meltdown. Strength Game, and the thing is called Meltdown. But there's a label on there that says, hold on, there's 3 labels on there. I'll go all 3 and tell me which one sticks out to you. And these are supplements.
Okay. Healthy supplements.
Yeah, for fitness. It says daily value not established. For experimental use only. Not for human consumption.
All of those stick out to me. What?
It says not for human consumption.
You're lying. That's on the bottle?
My G.
Daily value not established. For experimental use only. Not for human consumption. How? How is it even legal to label this bottle like that and sell it at a store? Well, if it's not for humans, who's it for?
That's what I was wondering.
Because anything that's not good for humans isn't good for an animal either. So who is it for? Dude, are you serious? Is that real?
100%.
You photoshopped that?
I've held it in my hand. I looked at it. I looked at her.
And where did she buy the bottle from?
I want to
like a GNC.
Yeah, I want to say maybe like a health supplement store.
No, I need to know where they sell that product. I'm gonna go to the store.
They sell them all in. This costs like $60.
I just need to look at the bottle. I don't need to buy it. I just need to look at the bottle. I don't believe that. That's fake news.
No,
that's fake news, everybody.
That is real. I was just like, I don't know. I just like wish like that is not good for you.
Not good for you.
I mean, it tells you. It's just
my God.
It's literally like reading this. It's like having cigarettes,
right?
And it's telling you this will kill you, or I will give you cancer,
right?
And you say, you know what, F it, and take it anyway.
Well, that's the addiction, though. See, I think that's even a step. That's a different level. That's what you just showed me. No. Because no. At what point did she realize that bottle said not for human consumption when you pointed it out? Or did she point it out to you like?
No, I think she let me see the bottle, and I was just like,
And you just started reading it.
yeah.
How did she react when you read that?
She laughed.
You, what?
She's like, I don't know, but it gives me energy.
Really? Well, so does speed.
it's so does crack or cocaine, whatever. I don't know, man.
I'm blown away because I've never seen that before. I've never seen that. I mean, I could understand it on a cigarette pack because it's not a health food supplement. It's cigarette, and big tobacco. We took them to court. We sued them. Everybody knows about that, right? That happened like in the 90s or something. This is supposed to be a health supplement that says it's experimental.
Like, I think it's like creatine. Like people take to get energized.
Yo, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And I be trying to tell people that these health supplements. Check this out. Somebody posted a meme, and it was saying like, what was it saying? Oh man, I really want to remember this. It was something along the lines of,
would you like to buy a vow?
I would like to buy a vow. I really want to go. I don't want to mess it up, but it was deep because it was talking about like people, how they get disease and something that we do to counteract disease. I don't know if it was, I can't remember if it was talking about the way we eat. Like if eating healthy or if veganism, I don't know if it was talking about veganism, something about the way we eat. Like if eating like this was healthy, then why is, no, I'm messing this up. Let me see if I can look this up real quick because I think I remember whose page it was on.
It's just funny how people will eat things or do things knowing it's bad for them, like take medicine and know the risk of the side effects, and they're okay with that. Instead of using a more healthier approach of doing things that will benefit their body. It won't be as instant, but in the long run it'll benefit you because people have diseases thanks for the side effects, or they have headaches or dry mouths or whatever because of the side effects of the medicine,
Right.
And so it's just like, I care about her, she's a good friend of mine. I care about her, and I try to push this, healthier way, or don't do this. You don't need this to get energy. You don't need this. If you started living a different lifestyle, eating different things, you would see the benefits that you are wanting to get from these particular supplements or whatever. I don't take supplements.
Right.
I haven't taken supplements in like 5 years, and I'm strong. I'm good. I got energy. When I get enough sleep. And I eat okay. I don't eat the best, but I eat okay. And I'm good.
There's some improvements that could be made.
Yeah, most definitely.
But I think that
I just eat a lot of chips.
The main thing is, I mean, physically speaking, like, a lot of people be like, oh, you need protein to build muscle. It's like,
I haven't eaten all day. All day. I've been up since like 10.
Right.
It's like what? While we're recording this is 4 Central Time. That's 6 hours. I say I haven't eaten anything. Oh my gosh, you haven't eaten anything? You're starving yourself.
Right.
No, I'm not. I'm just not hungry.
Right.
I'm just not going to force myself to eat.
What's that all about? Why do I have to force myself to eat just because?
Doesn't make sense to me. So, I mean, I'll tell that to this girl I'm talking to. She'd be like, oh my God, you need to eat something. I was like, why? I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry.
You know what, though? I used to say that to people. But typically, I would say it to girls who were slender, and they would be kind of complain about being slender built. You know what I'm saying? So, and to kind of like encourage them to eat more to gain weight, I would be like, have you eaten today? Did you eat dinner today? You know what I'm saying? Because they would be complaining. I like their size. You know what I'm saying? I like slender girls, but like they would be complaining. So that was me trying to help them. But I did. I used to say, like, have you eaten today? No, you need to eat dinner. You need to eat something.
Yeah. Did you find that freaking meme or whatever you're looking for?
Man, the internet, Facebook is so shady.
They change stuff up so much. Like you'll be on the front page or something like that.
Yeah.
And you refresh it, it'll change. You go off of it, log back in, it'll be something completely different. Just keep it the same, man.
Yeah.
Unless I ask for it.
It's I don't know. But what I remember about it is I said, yeah, And if vitamins work, because they were talking about vitamins being a, why is vitamins $1 billion industry, right? It was like, if this works, then why is vitamins $1 billion industry? And I was like, yeah. And if vitamins worked, why is it still $1 billion industry?
Yeah, why are there so many of them?
Why is there so many of them? Why are they constantly making more and more money? Because if vitamins worked, the industry would go away because people would be healed.
It worked. I don't need this anymore.
I don't need it anymore.
That's it.
Boom.
If it worked, I won't need to keep taking this. I'm just feeding them my money, and they're feeding me this poison that's just not gonna freaking give me the benefits that I'm seeking in the long run.
Right.
It's just a temporary solution for this pain or this need to get the guns big for a temporarily, amount of time.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say people say you need to like if you don't work out for like a week, all those gains are gone. Not me.
I've only ever seen you deflate like maybe twice in your whole and it was never always gone. It was just, you're not as pumped up as you were before. But it wasn't like, you kind of you reverted or
I turned into freaking. I went from Piccolo to Kami. You know what I mean?
Come on, they don't know.
Hey man, I'm animated male. I gotta throw animated references in there.
True.
You see, I got the Goku on. Yeah.
Ooh, that reminds me. Ooh, I started watching My Hero Academia.
You just started it?
Yeah, I just started it. You didn't know?
I didn't know you didn't watch it.
I wasn't watching it. Yeah, I wasn't watching it.
Oh, you like it?
Oh, it's dope.
Yeah,
it's dope. And one of my members was like, it's like they were comparing it to One Punch Man, and I see the correlation between One Punch Man and you don't see it.
No.
Heroes. It's all about being a hero.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the main character, but that's nothing like that. But yeah, being a hero and a villain, that is, yeah, I see that. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, comes on tomorrow. I'll be doing a reaction.
Is it like season 3? What season?
Yeah, it's third season now.
And then that's ongoing. No, I just started. I'm maybe halfway through because the seasons are short.
Yeah, they're like 12 episodes.
Yeah, so I'm about halfway through the first season. But it's good. It's good anime. I'm happy. I'm excited to check it out.
Who's your favorite character so far?
Why don't? Okay, you're on. Okay, it's not that far ago. You should know who my favorite character is. I don't know. Is
it Ida, the dude that runs fast?
But the funny thing about it is, they changed him instantly. Like at first he was like, you know what I mean? He was the man. He was, putting everybody in their place. And then as soon as he saw the main character punch that big robot, he changed his whole game. So I don't know. We'll see as the plot thickens. We'll see. Yeah. But yeah, of course, he's the one that's gonna stick out to me. You know that.
That is funny. That is hilarious. Hold on. Who's your favorite Bleach character?
My favorite Bleach character.
Obviously, mine is Aizen and Toshido.
How is one character? How is one your two your favorite? It's just you get one favorite character.
It was Aizen.
Okay.
And Toshido.
You know what? I don't know if I ever established a favorite Bleach character. I like the captain. I don't remember his name.
Zenpachi or Kenpachi?
No, not Kenpachi. That's Main's favorite character. Yeah. Like I don't even know. I don't even think we was really talking to Main during the Bleach era, but I know that's Main's favorite character.
Yeah.
But no, he's a he wears the flower. He wears the flower. No.
He wears a.
He wears the
beard,
the rose, yeah,
scruffy beard.
He wears the cherry blossom.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like a womanizer.
Okay. Why? Like.
No, he's a womanizer.
I don't understand why would you think of something negative? Okay, Aizen is.
Who said that's negative?
What do you mean, a womanizer?
That's his main attribute.
In what light? How about the fact that he's strong and he's a beast?
Every freaking captain is strong and a beast. That's why they're captains. But the thing, his personality stands out is that he's a womanizer.
Whatever, dude.
He always flirts and and does stuff with his sub captain or whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Anyway, where were we?
I don't know. I could tell you that I'm gonna give you guys an update on the
Supplements. But yeah, go ahead. I mean, that's
man. As soon as we said why is the nutritional industry a $1 billion industry, that's the end of that.
Yeah.
But last time, we talked, I told you I got hit, sideswiped, and so I was pretty surprised the next day when I called him. I don't know if I had talked to you guys about that or talked to you about that, but the next day when I called him, he remembered me.
Yeah, you told us.
Told you that? Okay. So they called me earlier and they told me the car is ready to go and everything like that. So everything worked out. Well, obviously I got to see my repairs. One thing that I thought was interesting, my bumper got hit a little bit, just literally like kind of like a scratch. And insurance, so your typical body shop, they're gonna be like, look, you scratched the bumper, that's part of the accident, we got to quote you for the whole bumper, right? We got to do all the work, quote all this, because they want as much money as possible. Well, this guy, he had Geico referred me to one of their partners, and they work together, so I'm not sure if they get like some type of bonus for saving Geico money, but like the scratch probably would have cost them an extra $300-400 to do it properly. Mm-hmm. Instead, they offered me $150 to leave it there.
What?
Yeah, and I've never experienced that before because everybody's always out to make as much money as they can. So the body shop be like, nah, we got to fix the scratch. It's part of the accident. You know what I mean? And because we got to fix this scratch, we actually really are going to have to repaint this whole bumper. They'll come up with a reason and then they'll upcharge the insurance company. But see, Geico, and I'm sure Progressive, I'm sure there's a lot of companies that are doing it. They're smart. They've now become affiliated with these repair shops. Yeah. And they also have Enterprise affiliated too. So I go to this repair shop. You got an Enterprise, you got the body shop, and you have Geico all in one facility.
So rental, you have the fixer-upper, and you have the main thingy.
Right. And they all work together in order to pretty much screw the customer, which is me. I took the $150. I'm not gonna lie, I took it. Here's the thing. I was perfectly fine. Nothing happened to me. The guy that hit me, he was cool about everything, and the process was smooth. So I allowed them to pretty much play the game, right?
So they bent you over.
I allowed them to play their game.
To penetrate.
Well, here's the thing. I could have told the guy, like, look, it's gonna cost you another $300, $400, $500 to do this bumper the right way. You're offering me $150? Nah, give me $250. You know what I'm saying? I could have played the game. And as I was telling him, yes, I'm thinking this in my head. But, I was just like, whatever. I'm not going to make a big stink about it. Money comes to me. You know what I mean? When you start changing your perspective on money comes to you. So it's not really, you know what I'm saying? But I just thought it was interesting.
It's money coming, money going. It ain't like you can take it with you.
Money's not real. So, yeah, you can't take it anywhere. You can't. Money's not real.
Money isn't real?
Money is a construct. It's a construct.
It's a barter.
Check this out. People are money, right? And what money is
about what we put value on.
Well, it's a representation of someone's work. Right? You've essentially taken someone's efforts and you represent it, and now you can place value on their work utilizing this monetary system. But if you think about the banks, I don't know if I mentioned this last time about the banks.
I'm not sure if you mentioned it on a podcast.
Okay, well, just in case I didn't mention it on a podcast, I'm going to give you guys a brief
animated sage thoughts.
The Federal Reserve is like Walmart. It's a third party company. It's
subscribe. All right, go ahead.
It's not a government agency. So the government says, hey, Walmart, Federal Reserve, can I borrow $1 million? And they're like, yeah, sure, here's $1 million. Make sure you pay us back with 10% interest. Okay. Now, you don't have any money to begin with because you get all your money from the Federal Reserve. So when they tell you to pay $1 million back plus 10% interest, well, you have to wonder, where's that 10% interest going to come from? It's impossible. So to start off, every single dollar bill is debt. It has debt attached to it that cannot be paid back, period. It's impossible. That's why the world is in debt. And this goes back to what I was talking about the central bankers not being in North Korea, but they'll probably be getting in there soon. All right. So anyway, the United States government then issues $100,000 to your local bank. Now, the bank is allowed to loan up to $1 million, but it only has $100,000, right? So you say, well, where does that other $900,000 come from? It's non-existent. It's non-existent. So
type that bad boy in the computer and hey,
it's just electronical. So, Gara, he goes in there to buy a house, right? And he's like, hey, can I get a loan for my house? I need $100. And they're like, yeah, sure. Here's your $100. And then they loan they give that same loan to 100,000 other people, and everybody gets their house, and we're all happy, and we're paying it back with our dollar bills, which have debt attached to it. And it's like, huh? How does any of this work?
Yeah.
Right, and that's where your big housing bubbles come from. That's where inflation comes from. That's where all these issues come from, because it's at the core of the system. It's flawed, and money's not real. It's fake. It's just if I hack a bank, let's say I hack a bank and I put, $1 million in Gara's account. Okay, that's not money coming from anywhere. It's just numbers in an account. He goes, he spends the money. No one thinks twice about it.
Yeah.
It's not tangible. It's not real. Time. The effort that you put into something, that's the real money. Money, cash, it doesn't do anything without someone's effort, without their energy.
But it runs the world.
Or so they say.
So they say. But we need that at this particular moment in time in order to live in this house, because we have to feed the money. In order to eat, we need to purchase. Because
under these circumstances, in order to play this game, yeah, you need money. But the key is understanding that money's not real. When you understand that money is not real and you really, really get it, you start to think differently about money. And it doesn't become unrealistic or unreasonable to think that you can earn for $5,000 a day. When you understand how money works, it's like in Monopoly, you're dealing with, hundreds of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, and you're earning this money in minutes. It's a 2-hour game. You're earning it in minutes.
Ain't no 2-hour game.
Okay.
That game it go on for a day.
If you don't know how to play,
Monopoly can go on for a day.
If you don't know how to play Monopoly, yeah, it'll go on forever. But the reality is, we play this game, Monopoly, and we can earn tens of thousands of dollars in a couple hours. And we think, oh, it's just a game. Well, life's a game. And money is Monopoly money.
Have you ever finished a game of Monopoly?
Yeah. Back in college, me, Steve, a couple other guys, this girl, Jessica, I was crushing on. We used to play Monopoly.
Jessica, the chick we went to the club with?
No.
Different Jessica, okay.
No.
Okay.
No. We used to play Monopoly every night. We'd play a couple times a night in our dorm rooms. We called ourselves professional Monopoly players.
Would y'all get drunk?
No, we didn't drink. But you'd roll the die and you know where to. You didn't count in your space. You'd roll the die. You know where to go. It was speed Monopoly. Yeah, we used to go through a couple games a night. It was fun.
That's pretty serious.
It was a lot of fun. You know what? We don't read the rules. If you read the rules to Monopoly, it's not that long of a game.
Yeah.
If you actually play by the rules.
I've never read the rules to Monopoly.
No one has. Nobody knows the rules.
I just like, yo, how you play this? Hey, man, you just roll the die, go here, read the card. All right, what we do in jail? Hey, you roll double 3 times, man. You in jail. How you get out, man? You got to roll double, all right?
Exactly. Seriously. Nobody, and it's so funny because the house rules are somehow universal.
Yeah.
Like everybody plays by house rules. Nobody know who started them, but we all know them. I could go and play Monopoly with anybody, and I'll know how they're gonna play. I know not to play the way I play because I know they don't know the way I play because that's the rules. Like I actually play by the rules. But yeah, I thought that was funny.
I don't play by the rules. I break the rules.
Break the rules. Think outside the box.
I gotta take a piss.
Well, to be honest with you, I gotta go get my car.
Oh, yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah.
What time does the place close?
They close at 5:30, so I got an hour. I gotta.
Where is it at?
Oh, it's down the street. But I mean, I want to get there. Have 30 minutes just in case.
I got you. Okay, well we can wrap it up.
We've been talking for what, 2.5 hours?
No,
2 hours?
hour and 50 minutes.
What? Golly, I thought we was doing a nice little 2-hour one. Whatever.
No,
That's
man.
good.
It's all
Hour
good.
40, 50
Yeah, I mean, we can wiggle around this.
How much more animated Sage thoughts do you need?
I don't know, man, but make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, though, and follow us on SoundCloud. And if you're on iTunes, make sure you're listening and following and all that good stuff. Wherever you're listening to, make sure you subscribe, follow, like. If you pay for it, I don't know how you had to pay for it.
Well, look, I'm thinking, in the future, we get a little Patreon account going.
Hey, man. We'll talk about that another time, man. But right now, we're trying to get the people love. We got to get the people love, and and eventually they'll come with us. But yeah, if y'all like what y'all heard and want to join in on the conversation, go ahead and leave some comments and let us know what you all thought about the topics. I know we went a lot. I know we went a lot of places and probably a lot of touchy stuff.
I know we said some contradictory
it
things.
was some controversial things.
Some controversial. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah,
contradicting.
Nah, I don't be contradicting myself. You crazy?
But yeah, man. Thank you all for tuning in this week. We'll see you, beautiful people, next time. And yeah, we ain't got no slogan yet. So until then, you all have a beautiful day.
Sage out.
Bye bye.
I don't understand this. I talk about everything. I'm knowledgeable about everything. No, I don't know everything about every individual.